And we're back. It's a Real American Brian and Johnny, and we're all going to be watching some more cartoons. I hope you'll join us as we get into part 2 of Arise, Serpentor, Arise. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, please look in the channel and find that and watch it, or jump in at part 2 if you're one of those kind of people. Brian was not with us for part 1, but he will be here on this chapter of Arise, Serpentor, Arise, the 5-part story that we're going to go through. How are you guys doing?
I'm a little embarrassed that we have 2 Real American Brians and a Real American Johnny, and it doesn't fit the naming sequence,
I mean, as long as we're all real Americans, we're okay.
Well, last time I checked, Real American Baron? Why is it spelled wrong? What is that on the screen there?
That's my internet name.
Okay. I would have called you Brain when I mistyped it, but you know what? Baron works.
Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's a Real American Brian.
Yo, Joe! We'll fight for freedom.
G.I. Joe, where everyone's a pilot.
G.I. Joe is there.
Well, you got to know a little bit about everything.
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra, the enemy.
There he is. Wait a minute. He hasn't, but he's not here yet. But
Oh,
in the intro?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Mindbender creates him.
I want to say part 2 just gave away the ending.
Spoilers.
Hey, there's Alpine.
Oh, there's Westview.
Its purpose to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist
They're
organization.
not that ruthless, to be fair.
He never gives up. He'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare.
Oh, that move just happened. Then that move, or no, that move's gonna happen, right?
In the
That move
future.
they just did, where the twins jump over.
In our last episode,
What the hell?
Commander launched a daring
So we get our little recap of part 1 here. The awesome bats and Mindbender plotting to create a new leader for Cobra.
I don't know why they have the perfect leader already.
Why don't you just clone Sergeant Slaughter? He just took out 30 bats by himself.
Yeah, Slaughter's pretty awesome.
Created from the DNA of
Nice
all
Christmas
dead
tree.
conquerors, a bizarre inspiration given to Dr. Mindbender in a
I wish Mike was here
But
to
as Sergeant
tell us
Slaughter's
the
training
science.
restores the
Yeah.
Joe's fighting spirit, Slipstream
In a
intercepts
weird
And do all
way-
scientists sleep in the nude?
In a weird way, Serpentor has gay dads. This is all dads.
Uncover the whole secret at Zartan's camp. There, Thrasher corners Sergeant Slaughter in his deadly Thunder Machine. And now, today's
Thunder
chapter of
Machine.
Arise, Serpentor, Arise.
Buzz Dixon, another classic. Which one is that, Brian?
It's Thrasher, right?
Yeah.
No, that was Thrasher? No.
Where did that grenade come from, though? Was he keeping that under his hat?
Yeah, and why didn't he have a frag grenade and just kill
Yeah,
him?
was he just happy to see me? He just punched through the wall of rock.
He's a badass.
A wall made of rocks. Rawr.
That would not happen.
He got his hat.
He left his hat behind.
Oh, they could have used the hat to get his DNA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, later on, maybe.
What if Zorana got his DNA another way?
He will.
Zarada! Peace in the test.
Burial sites all over the world. The tomb of Napoleon in Paris, the tomb of General Xanthophae Montauf in Egypt, even the crypt of Vlad Tepes, better known as Count Dracula.
Oh, better known as Dracula.
Sun Tzu, the great Chinese strategist, Genghis Khan, Montezuma.
So I don't know a lot about all the history of these things, but I do know that there is no tomb of Genghis Khan.
Other tombs as well.
No,
Question is,
not anymore.
Lying to me.
Destroyed by Cobra.
I don't know what Cobra's after in those tombs, but I do know if we do nothing, we'll surely pay for it. So until we learn what's at the bottom of this, we're going to split our forces and station.
Thankfully, the next tomb is just within driving distance.
On Zartan's list. Sir, we're on an important mission. Please move so we can proceed.
Please move.
I will not, monsieur. I am the mayor of Paris. I
Yeah.
protect
my city.
Zuta
Classic
Lord.
France.
Napoleon's tomb. How, Monsieur General? By rolling your big machines through the streets? By shaking the foundations?
When they get Napoleon, it makes me think of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Sir, facing Cobra with
Is the obvious thought that that's Zartan as the mayor?
Yeah. There's another episode of Zartan where he disguises himself as a guy that looks awfully similar to him.
Right. Like he always goes after the Danny DeVito costume. You know what I mean?
But with the figure, it was just a different face over the exact same body.
Oh yeah. Use
Boy,
your
that is way
imagination.
different than the one in Tiananmen Square.
I've got a pretty good observation post, General Hawk.
I'm looking at some
What
naked
about the
chicks.
other Joes?
We're doing just fine, Sci-Fi.
You ever do an Eiffel Tower, Hawk? What do you mean by that?
These special episodes are great because they have a lot of characters you almost never see in your typical episodes.
Well, this one where you have the forces split out.
Well, yeah, they have an army in every city or every country.
The world's meanest salad. We're about an hour's march from Montezuma's tomb.
Down here in Egypt, General Hawk, things are going smooth as cat fur on a marble.
Cobra just stole the Shroud of Turan to put Jesus into Serpentor.
I think it's cool that Dusty's got a mission where he can kind of command a little bit. Oh.
Save her.
Who is that?
What's the problem?
I mean, the first thing that should tip you off something's up. She speaks English.
Mother and little sister, back in the next valley, we were attacked by Cobra. Will you help us, please?
Will you abandon your post, please?
I think just automatically tug on everybody's hair to see if it's a wig at all times.
And why did everybody have to leave? Couldn't they just send one person to go investigate this?
Oh, gotcha.
Classic Zorana right there.
I think G.I. Joe might need to do leadership. Speaking of
Cobra.
Nice crotch shot.
I like that.
Jeez.
Camel
Where
toe.
did that conquest take off from?
I don't know. There's another toe on that one.
There's the USS Flag's just sitting in the desert.
Oh, okay.
At this point, you should see the sarcophagus of the great Egyptian general Serpentor.
I learned sarcophagus as a kid from this.
Good one.
Yeah.
Can you spell it though?
Maybe next year. Sarcophagus.
Is it dawning on them? Oh, man.
Oops.
Mindbender, you bloody dingo!
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
Yep. Look out for those spikes around.
Persistent, ain't they? Well, it'll take more than that to scare off Cern. Y'all been hacked, Dusty old buddy. That there gal ain't all she claimed to be.
Yeah, and you're not my buddy.
Right. Everybody loves the coworker that runs up to him. You were wrong.
Like, how am I going to get this DNA out? Oh, this helps. Okay.
Miranda, use the box. Don't do that. It's gross.
Yeah, use the box.
Not your box.
Whoa. It's like some Ghostbusters technology.
Yeah. The real Ghostbusters.
How come? Wait a second.
Now, call me crazy, but I think I would take the boot off before.
Is that her butt crack?
Yes.
Oh, wait. What did you say, Brian? Sorry.
I would have gotten my foot loose before I got the DNA sample. Make it
Did
easier to
someone
work
say
with.
foot loose?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Thunder Machine. Why does it articulate?
I don't know. That was really weird, though.
A little something called the crossover, if you're on.
Oh, yes. Why don't you shoot at it?
Yeah, well,
Why
good
don't you
buddy.
shoot at it? Shoot back with a pistol. Come on. Their guns can only fire forward.
That's what I call a hot damn.
That's very timely. What was going on in Ukraine?
What about in 1986?
After these messages,
Same?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
back to G.I. Joe.
He's got him on radio. Slipstream, what's going on out there?
We got a bad situation here, General. Any sign of survivors?
Basically, because they should have let Dusty be in charge.
Uh-uh.
Hawk, it's Cobra time.
Yeah, it is.
How come they never made that vehicle?
It's Cobra, all right. Get in position! Cobra! Don't give them twins an inch of room. Gotta keep them snakes at a bona
It's like, is Roadblock always missing?
Yeah, they all miss.
They could all die from that gun.
I like General Hawk shooting at the with his pistol. Oh, thanks. Forgot my gun. How come Sci-Fi is not using his Sci-Fi gun?
Oh.
Good question. I mean, that would have worked for the little laser rifle.
Yeah.
Stop! I cannot allow this!
There he is.
You must stop this destruction! You barbarians! Barbarians?
What?
To Napoleon's tomb!
I love this move. Boom.
Oh.
All it
That was
takes.
the hazardous chemical guy, right?
This is why you just hire 2 gymnasts to do every mission. Twin gymnasts every time.
He always was a little
Now, Brian is a fan of Stalin. Did they go after Stalin?
They didn't. Apparently, his,
No,
He's one of the few that's corpses really actually could go look at.
Yeah. He wasn't the military leader they were looking for.
No, there's a different one.
But he's still alive in Argentina. Oh, how humiliating for Wild Bill to be pulled away by the other helicopter.
Durana.
Are they taking a shower?
You wish.
Fine, I want you to take over. I've got a rendezvous with Roadblock.
Dude, why does he get that?
Hawk here.
What the hell?
And it's not even the standard issue one.
He's like, you got it. When do I get one?
Good work, Roadblock. Now, lock coordinates with Duke's.
I knew you were just a diversity hire.
Loud and clear. Over. We're nearing the tomb of Ivan the Terrible. The Soviets have sent the October Guard to...
Oh, the Soviets. Nice.
I totally forgot the October Guard even appeared in the cartoon. I think it's pretty cool.
Yo, Ivan.
General Hawk, Flint here. Montezuma's tomb is dead ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Dialtone. That's Dialtone, or is that the new guy?
That looked like Recondo. Am I wrong?
No, there was the radio guy there too. Ricardo's there, yes, but
It's midnight here in Transylvania, General Hawk. We expect to reach Vlad Tepes crypt at 0200.
This whole country reminds me of when I used to take my kids trick-or-treating.
you take your kids trick or treating in Romania.
You got the big candies there.
Yeah, they got the full size bars.
Full size.
None of that black and orange taffy.
Swim in the ever-popular Aztec pool of death.
Ooh.
All right, let's get in position.
No,
I want to go swimming in.
yeah, no skinny dipping, you guys.
Ooh-wee. This is about the scariest place I ever spent the night. How about you, Lola?
Yeah, right.
Back when radios had to fill up your whole back.
Cut the chatter, you guys. Cobra's out there.
Shut up, you idiot.
How come he has just a handheld one and that guy's got to carry a giant backpack?
Because Flint's the leader. That's why.
He's bouncing his signal off the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
That's DNA, you moron. We can't go after it.
He's like, TNA? That's DNA.
I think this is where I learned what DNA was. Because this predates Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hear something, dial tone?
Just a bird. Two of them on top of the Great Wall of Hieroglyphs, and one in the niche below the ceremonial stairs.
Don't you mean niche?
Zartan's like, where's my second favorite sibling?
What's all the... So glad you could join us.
Oh, he's dead. Nope. He had him dead point blank.
He should have killed him.
Lil ain't got time for Dreadnought shit. Jinx, owe me a Coke.
Nothing like a cheery blaze to warm a dreadnoughts on, eh?
Who's the girl?
Flint's like, sounds like my ex-wife.
Well, they are going for a dip in the
There we go,
Aztec
skinny
pool.
dip. All right.
It's going to take a long time to heat up that much water to the boil.
Sweet laugh.
We'll have to ask Mike how long it would take roughly.
Pause the tape and ask your science professional.
G.I. Joe. My special recipe for G.I. Joe soup.
Oh, that sounds tasty. Hey, they still have hats on.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Joe gooses are properly cooked. Come, Monkey Wrench, on to the business at hand.
Joe, secure your headwear immediately.
It's a good thing they don't need to breathe.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh no! You never said nothing about no big hairy
No spiders.
One more outburst like that, and I'll bury
You would think being Australian, you'd be like, oh, those are small spiders.
Yes. Does that Dreadnought have mom jeans on?
Yeah. I guess that was Moose Knuckle.
I'll never eat boiled lobster ever again. Hang on, Zartan!
Does Dial-Tone's equipment still work after being submerged?
I'm guessing the technology is not advanced enough to have waterproofing.
Yeah. They're also not wet at all.
You wouldn't happen to have a bug bomb on you, would you, Zartan?
Spiders make me stutter.
And dance.
Yeah. A little cold slither going on there.
Ah, he put it on his junk.
Got it. Fascinating. Now let's get out of here.
I'm not sure I understand what we just saw, Zartan, but you'll have plenty of time to explain.
Did you have sex with that skeleton?
Let's play a little game, mates. I go bang, you all fall down. I like games, especially rugby.
I like to have say things before I throw grenades.
Any spiders? Come on! Looks like no go, Joe.
What the?
This is all over.
Should have shot him.
What vehicle was that? It was a helicopter boat?
Something depressing about being
Yeah,
there
it
during
was
the
a
vampire season.
swamp something or other.
Oh.
Mainframe.
Forget what it's called.
I think Elon Musk is working on one of those right now.
Yep.
An electric version.
Speaking of which,
In the water.
anything squirming your way, Alpine?
Nothing snaky so far. But
Albert Pine, anyone?
in his history.
Here's a giant gun we're not going to use.
Nothing.
That gun's gonna scare him.
In Yucatan is Cobra 3, Joe Nada. Oh, you hear something? No, I didn't hear it again, and I didn't hear it coming from downstairs. You're nuts. The only thing down there is Dracula. I mean, Vlad Tepes' crypt. There's probably a logical explanation for all this spooky jazz. Sure. When they buried him, they left his radio on.
Oh, got him.
It is coming from the tomb. Then let's check it out.
You open it. It is my ex-wife.
Stay here and guard the remains, or
I still think my favorite beachhead thing was when
place.
Who's Flint had to put him in his place about where he ranks.
Man, this is my kind of climate. Why can't they have weather like this down in Waco, Texas?
Face it, Iceberg, you were born in the wrong hometown. Come in, Duke.
Got out of there before that Koresh messed it up.
The word
Whoa,
is frost.
I'm Iceberg. He
Is he
got
from
really
Waco?
cold.
Just turned into a frozen
Yeah, he said Waco, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Nothing else to report. I thought I could take a pretty good chill, but you October gods put me to shame.
Beautiful spring day, yes, Joski? Maybe
It is great weather.
Go for a swim.
There's Cobra with more of that.
Now I go wait in line for bread and toilet paper.
Forward, Cobra! Push him back! Yo, Joe!
Should have brought more than 5.
Yo, Ivan.
What in the world are those things?
Am I misremembering that when the bats first came out, like the lore for them was they were practically indestructible?
I don't know. Maybe initially, but then
Then they became fodder. They were something safe to shoot.
I thought they were more robotic than they are human. And now
No, they are robots.
But I know, but they move like humans.
Yeah.
Okay, Cinderella, it's pumpkin time.
Oh,
In fairness, if you were already there, why didn't you grab the DNA?
right, she spent so much time howling. She could have had the DNA bit out of there.
and I would have gotten away with it wasn't for you meddling
Oh,
Joes.
the acrobats get him again. You should have shot Baroness with that shot.
Stay back. I warn you.
I warn you.
Take both of us, Baroness.
I won't have to,
It's like
darling.
you can't take both of us.
But she could.
Rocksteady and Bebop.
Now in the comics, do they? Because the Vipers and the regular troopers coexist. Like one didn't replace the other. Is one a more prestigious?
Vipers are more elite.
Yeah, they didn't replace each other technically, but you saw a lot less Cobra Troopers after the Vipers were
Yeah.
introduced.
No.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
cliffhanger!
dead.
Tune in tomorrow when Cobra's pursuit of the precious
Tomorrow?
DNA from long-dead conquerors leads from the snowy steppes of Russia.
Yeah, you guys have to come back tomorrow to watch my cartoon. You know that?
Oh yeah, you're gonna do a thing where it looks like tomorrow.
Sure.
All in the next exciting episode of Arise, Serpentor, Arise.
All right, so that is part 2 of Arise, Serpentor, Arise. What do you guys think?
I like that they obviously spent more money on this series of this miniseries than they did on your typical G.I. Joe.
Yeah, do you say that because of the animation quality or just the number of characters or both?
Number of characters, animation quality, everything.
He was also saying due to the amount of vehicles involved, costs more to make those.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had to travel to France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It's one of those things where you get to see a lot of characters and also witness the storylines that create something bigger, and you get to learn a few things too. Learn a little history, a little geography.
And I like to see Cobra like stomping on G.I. Joe a little bit.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I guess most of the cartoons I don't really remember. So doing this, I get to see them all almost for the first time again. But Cobra won on how many different fronts here? We haven't seen, and they're not done yet, but they're going out to all these different locations, and so far Cobra has trumped the Joes in every spot, even though the Joes knew they were going to be there. Could have
and set up ambushes at each and every one.
So it's crazy. It's a very successful Cobra operation here.
So far.
We'll see. I mean, this is only part 2. There's 3 more parts.
I mean, we don't know if Serpentor is actually going to get made or not. It's not like he was in an intro of the show.
Right. And also, it's clear from this Arise, Serpentor, Arise, that Dr. Mindbender should probably be the leader of Cobra.
So what was Cobra Commander's status at this point?
He's the ultimate leader at this point.
No, I mean, where was he? What?
Sulking? Was he sulking somewhere?
Yeah, so it's some suspended logic here, right? So Mindbender has gotten together with the other guys and said we're going to brew up this new leader of Cobra, and Cobra Commander had to go along with it because the Crimson Guard were kind of turning on him. So it's like, oh yeah, I want you to do that too. Go build a super soldier.
So Cobra Commander thinks, build this guy, I'll use him, and everyone else is like, well, this is going to be our new leader, but he's thinking it's more my bodyguard of sorts.
Yeah, he's stuck in a position where he had to go along with it, like
because the money men.
Yeah, so
Crimson Guard are the money men, right?
Yeah, so he's either trying to hope it fails or use it to his advantage in some other way once it happens. But.
Yeah. Is this one of those where I don't know if maybe in a future episode they talk about the reason why they use each of those military leaders, like, well, so-and-so is for their brute strength, so-and-so is for their military intelligence. I mean, I know obviously, yeah, Sun Tzu in there for like the brain side of it all, but you know, almost if the Joe said, well, we'll let him have all of those, but without this, he's going to be a dumb Serpentor or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they didn't really go into. I think for the cartoon, they were just trying to pick historical names that kids had heard of.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Well, some of them were a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah. I can see that, but you want to give out some flag points?
Yeah, they didn't do Hitler for some reason.
Yeah, weird. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Johnny, how many
they could have gotten Rommel.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a lot of other choices they could have done for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4. Enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. Great part 2 of a longer storyline.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4 as well because, like I said, I like the animation quality a little step up. I like the characters you almost never get to see, and I like to see Cobra actually win every now and then.
Yeah, and to keep it super boring, I'm also going to give it 4. I think this is another great chapter. I want to see where it goes from here. I'm into this story, and being 5 parts is pretty cool. We have, 3 more to look forward to.
No Snake Eyes in this episode.
No, I was reading about this the other day, and it makes sense. Like, he didn't appear in the cartoon as much because he can't talk. So it's harder to make a cartoon character that can't talk.
Well, and also, if Snake Eyes was on any of those teams, they would probably have succeeded.
Yeah, and that would mess up the whole story.
Snake Eyes versus Slaughter. Who wins?
Oh,
Snake Eyes.
That's a good one. Probably Snake Eyes. But
I'm just saying, that scene with Slaughter using one bat to kill 30 other bats, that's insane. The amount of strength involved there.
And I think watching these again for the first time as an adult, I look back and like, maybe that's why Sergeant Slaughter was always the leader of my Joes, because I was watching these cartoons and he was like the biggest badass of the Joe.
He's the on-field leader for sure.
When this cartoon was on, were they doing like little commercials with the wrestler Sergeant Slaughter, like at the time?
I believe
he did singers and intros for some G.I. Joe when they were rebroadcasting him. I remember they had him do something.
I believe that started with this season where he started doing like intros for the cartoons.
Yeah, because I remember thinking like, the real life Sergeant Slaughter doesn't look as tough or big or strong as the cartoon Sergeant Slaughter, but it's cool to have a real life version of him.
For sure. Well, thank you for joining me. And if you enjoyed this, stick around next week. If you're watching this live, we will get into part 3. And if you're watching this after the fact, part 3 is probably already there. So go ahead and click over and watch that.
Later, maggots.
You've been watching a Real American Brian production in association with the letters G, I, and JOE.